Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and digitally pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey everybody.
And we are back with Going Back to School. Wisconsin Badgers 2023-2024 Season 2 continues. Jeff, we're looking pretty good.
Yep, off to we weren't necessarily expecting that much from the season, but we're off to an 18-4-1 start, and I can't remember where were we in the national rankings. Last poll had us fifth overall. Problem is, we're in the Big Ten, and we got this thing in front of us, Michigan, who's been nearly unbeatable, 22-2. I think both of the losses were to Minnesota just in the last week, so they were undefeated up until a week ago. So maybe the fact that Minnesota took a couple of games from them gives us a little bit of hope because they're right behind us too. Just 4 points behind, and game in hand. So they're potentially catching us, stepped up to us too. I don't think we're catching Michigan by the end of the season, but it's going to be a tough conference tournament, and we'll see how far we go in the playoffs. Hopefully, we get some good matchups early on, and don't run into Michigan right away.
How many are we back from Michigan?
Say again?
Uh, I said, how many are we back from Michigan?
5 points back from Michigan, one game in hand.
Okay, we do play Michigan still in February.
If we could sweep that like Minnesota did, we'd be within 1 point, but I'm not counting on that. Just quickly going over what our roster looks like at the moment. Kind of in transition. We've got, if I sort by year, you can see we've got 8 graduating seniors this year, and looking at the star ratings, 3 4-star guys, a couple of 3.5-star guys. So that is really the better end of our team is going to be graduating. We do have some good prospects coming next season, and we've got some young guys that are still developing. It's really going to depend whether or not we lose some of the, several of these guys are drafted by the NHL. Kuhlman's our captain is, Stramel, who's 4.5 stars right now, probably be 5 next season. So we could lose some of these guys if they decide to go pro next year.
Yeah, Kim is chilling in her chat. Just says you're probably going to lose your best defenseman next year.
We'll see. He hasn't been that impressive. I mean, 9 points in 20 games so far, and his offensive production should be better than that. But we'll forgive him if he comes up with a big tournament. I'm just going to redo the rosters. I can't remember where we left here, so I think Jugnoth just came back from injury, so we'll take Chapman, the freshman, out. Got a few games, not too badly, and I'm actually kind of rough defensively. Looking at that game rating. Oh, watch not.
P-Wug says go Blues and go Wings. Or go Blue and go Wings. So, P-Wug, do you just always go against us? Is that your goal? Cheer for everybody but us?
I'm going to scratch somebody here. I think it's going to have to be Malmquist.
I will say we are currently streaming on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager as well as twitch.tv/OOTP developments and our Steam page right now. And I'm doing my best to watch all 3 spots. So if you have any questions, comments, please post and I will try and get them in.
Okay, the lines look pretty good. One thing I didn't mention, the thing that's really stood out this year, look at the goaltending. Our team goals against average is probably about 1.3 or so. So we haven't been scoring much, but we have not been giving up any goals at all.
Which is surprising because our goaltending is worse than last year, right? Jordan Moe was like 5 stars, wasn't he?
Yeah, we lost more goaltender, and we're going to lose McClellan. Braveris is the Latvian kid we brought in as a freshman, and we got another.
Yeah.
We've got a Czech goalie in the USHL, I think, that's going to be with us next year.
American goalie's 2 stars too, so that's
Oh yeah, the third string guy is just I think he's a walk on, but he doesn't have a scholarship.
Ratislav Elias.
Elias, yeah.
Cool name. Bratislav Elias.
And if you haven't seen these college games that we've been playing before, it's the way the college schedule works. Pretty much every week the games are Friday and Saturday back to back. So you've got these little gaps as we go between them during the week, and you don't have stuff like trades and whatnot going on to fill the time. So we got lots of time to fill between these between games. The Canucks made a big trade this week. Pretty happy with
Yes.
that.
Yeah, they traded away uh, Bruce Boudreau for Rick Tocchet.
Okay, 2 trades this week then.
Minor league deal. Couple of former wingers.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent about the coaching change, but pretty happy with the way the Horvat trade worked out.
Actually, I honestly couldn't tell you. Was the Rick Tocchet thing this past week? I honestly don't know anymore. I am like
No, it was
the last 2 weeks have
eight or
just
nine
kind of
days.
blurred
Yeah,
together, and I could not give you an honest answer.
I mean, some of the things he's been saying, like the team being a little soft and whatnot, doesn't seem to be wildly inaccurate. And we're up to number 4 in the poll, past Northeastern. So, oh, and Michigan lost again. That's 3 games in a. Who are they playing this week? Split the series against North Dakota.
Ah, good.
I'm assuming that's North Dakota. And is it?
No,
Oh,
so
it's Notre
overall,
Dame.
Jeff,
Okay.
you're a Vancouver fan. You feel happy about the return haul for Horvat?
Yep. Just, we're back to the games. Let me go through this first before I get into that. And Minnesota coming off of their sweep of Michigan, and game 1 we lose 5-2. So, yeah, they're kind of on a roll.
Ooh. Yeah, the big key, I think, like the
And
first
they're
rounder's
fast
nice
actually.
because you get to pick the guy you want, but it'll be interesting to see if Atu Ratu
Yeah, I mean
turns out.
we've had him before in these in our one of our games. Was it this year or no? It wasn't. Not this year, but it was last year or 2 years ago.
I want to say it
Yeah,
was at least 2 years ago
yeah,
because
I
I
think it
think
was
we
two
had him
years
as a high
ago.
pick at that point because he was considered to be a top five guy who fell all the way to I think it was 52nd is what I think it was.
Yeah, he had some trouble getting playing time his first year in the Finnish top league, and okay, I'm going to give Rivera's a start because Guam gave up 5 in that one, and we come out with a 4-3 win.
Also, P-Wog is talking in the chat and saying that I believe he's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan now. He's giving up on the Red Wings.
Seems unlikely.
In your game, how are all the college Minnesota teams? 5 or 6, I think. P-Wog starts laughing. That's what I just
But
understand. What I'm sorry. What do you mean? Uh, in your game, how are all the college Oh, like in terms of how they're doing, P-Wog? Is that what you mean?
Gophers are having a good season. They're pretty much even with us. Let me scroll down because they're Minnesota's the only ones in the Big Ten, and the other conferences are. Cut it off here. Hang on.
I'm not 100% sure that's what he means, but I think that's what he means.
And the CCHA teams, Minnesota State in the middle of the pack, not too bad. St. Bemidji State, not good at all. St. Thomas is Minnesota, isn't it? Yeah, St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They're not having a very good season. Was there another one? Oh,
St. Cloud.
Minnesota Duluth and St. Cloud State. Near the top of the NCHC, although not that great overall, so I don't know if they've got very good interconference records. But nobody really standing out. St. Cloud State, I guess, is the closest one. But Minnesota is definitely the best team in the state at the moment. And the new poll is out, and with that loss to Minnesota, we slip back a place. And they're up
Not
to 7th, we're
unexpected.
in 5th. And Northeastern jumped up to, it looks like, and defending national champion Arizona State. Yeah, it's surprising they're doing that well, but
Is
still
Domi
hanging
still
in
on
there.
their team? Not Domi. Doan.
Yeah, don't I think so. Shane Doan's kid. Nope, I'm not seeing him. Is he graduated?
More likely signed. I don't think he's a.
Yeah, Josh Doan. He's I think because Phoenix drafted him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Arizona drafted him. He's playing on Tucson now.
Arizona Phoenix, same thing.
Yeah. So this guy's just not leaving the state. Oh no, he played a year in the USHL when he was 18. So 3 year, 3 years or 2 years at Arizona State, and now he's playing in Tucson. So almost possible to have an entire high-level hockey career without leaving the state of Arizona. Who wouldn't have thought
That's
that good?
impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Jack Horback, who's no, it was actually showing 1 to 2 months when we started this. Now he's down to 1 to 2 weeks. Neck laceration, so nasty injury, but it's apparently recovering quickly. And give McClellan the first start again, but I think we'll split the goalies as usual. And 3-1 win over Penn State. And Coolmans gets a couple of points. That's good news. Penn State, pretty decent season, but they're fifth, only fifth in the Big Ten, which is pretty competitive other than Michigan State, who's having a terrible year.
Jeff, apparently you're a little quiet.
Sorry, I got my head kind of turned away from the
Yeah, that sounds
mic
a
as
lot
it's
better.
pointing in the. It's on the monitors at the far right, because I've got the middle one on the stream.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
that's not
turn
good
myself
news
down.
for Michigan. Eric Portillo out for a month. That won't put him into the tournament, but that may cost him a couple of games.
Well,
So
hopefully
how
that
many?
helps us.
Yeah, 5 points back, and we won't be in the games against us. And
No, but
I
if
might
somebody
give
else beats
McClellan the
them, that's
second
good for
start
us
since he
too.
won the first game against Penn State and managed to pull out the second too. 3-2 win. 3 points back and even on a number of games, and Minnesota's 4 points back of us. I don't think they're catching us, but we got a shot here. Michigan isn't looking quite as invulnerable as they did a month or two ago. And still the top two goals against average numbers in the league, although that's creeping up a little bit now. And yeah, back into fourth, passing UMass Lowell. And Minnesota's still in seventh, and Michigan hanging on to number one. I'm going to take a quick look at our stats, player stats. You see, yeah, we're not getting a ton of scoring. I mean, Stang, who's supposed to be our big scorer, is at 4 goals in 27 games.
Oh, that's
Even Stramel not producing a ton, and I mean, Carson Bantle, graduating senior, who's I wouldn't have picked him to be the leading scorer at the start of the season. And looking at the freshman Whitelaw, third near the Whitelaw's actually 1 point off of being the scoring leader, so
nice.
good freshman year for him. And yeah, Mellenbacher's not doing too bad. He's not even on scholarship. Okay. Moving along, I think we've got about 4 games left. 2 of them being against Michigan.
Here's hoping things go well.
And in the tournament. Okay, development report. Pretty good. I took a look at the training before I started this, so I think we're pretty much set there. I've said before, you don't really, if you're seeing negative numbers, guys going downhill, and you're playing as a college team, something's seriously wrong with them.
Yeah, you should
Because
be
he's,
cutting them
you
almost
know,
immediately.
nobody's
Nobody
yeah,
should be going
over
down at
their
that point.
early 20s. Yeah. Jersey sales. Coleman's breaks just barely into the top 20. Horbach is now day to day, so we should have him back anytime now.
Yes.
I should probably put Kara, I guess, in the, yeah, that's one of the seniors, graduating seniors. It isn't really going to hurt us that much. Monthly budget, we're slowly accumulating money. I'm going to bump the scouting and the. That's a little
Choice.
expensive, but I'm going to go with it. Scouting and team morale up a little bit. And just check the schedule, see what exactly we've got left. Oh, 8 games left. I thought we only had 4. So what should be an easy series this weekend against Michigan State, Ohio State, yeah, the 2 bottom teams in the conference. That's good. Before we go into Michigan and then Notre Dame to end the season.
Right.
Now watch us screw up the series against Michigan State. Confidence report is good. Go with the same lineup against Michigan State. Should be a big win.
Here's hoping.
Just barely. 3-2 win. Boston Buckberger with both goals. And game 2, I'm going to put Briveris in for that one. And Michigan is back winning again. They're 5 points ahead of us. So Briveris gets the second game and 4-3 loss.
Oh no.
That's disappointing. That is not a good team. Not a team you really want beating us.
Well, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, bad defensive game out of some key guys. About half, one defensive pair in particular. Finley was good. Whitelaw, the young guys didn't have a good game. Oh, and Greg Bantle, our leading scorer, it's just day-to-day sore Achilles tendon, so he should hopefully be healthy by the time we get back the next week against Ohio State. Oh, we were talking about the Horvat trade. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with the way that turned out. We had Ratu in that game, and
jumping back, I'm like, we're going back to that was a little while ago, but okay, yeah.
I left off. I was going to say something more about it. I left off. But yeah, I mean, the thing with the Islanders having that protected pick, the best scenario possible is if they wind up with, like, say, the 11th pick this year and they decide to use the protection, and then they tank even worse next year, we wind up with a lottery pick.
Which may or may not work.
But yeah, I mean, bottom line, say it's as far as big returns go for, as far as big Canuck trades go, I feel reasonably good about this one, and that hasn't always been the case. So we dropped down to 6 with that loss. You got a spammer in the FHM or the OOTP channel, Adam?
That's fine. I can deal with spammers.
Okay, Bantle is not quite healthy. I'm going to throw Malmquist into a spot for the first game. Maybe he'll be ready for the second one.
Kim is chilling. Says, "I swear I rarely lose to top teams and always blow it against bad teams." I know that feeling.
Yeah, an easy 5-1 win over Ohio State in the first half of that back-to-back. Still 5 points back of Michigan, so even if we sweep that series against them, we need them to lose another game if we're going to have any chance of passing them. I think 7 points back now. They won again. We really need to win this one. Bantle still isn't ready, but I'm going to put him in anyhow. And any other fitness issues? Don't think so. Well, a few that aren't at 100%, but. And just to be sure, I'm going to go with the starter again in the second game as well, McClellan. And he comes up with a shutout. Good. 2-0 shutout, so that keeps us in it. Should bump us up a spot or so in the polls. But still 5 points back in Michigan, so they've got to lose something here. Even if we sweep this. And would be nice to have everybody healthy for that one too. And it appears they are both saying they're ready to play. And it looks, I guess I haven't been playing Bruveris enough. He dropped off the goals against average leaders.
Okay.
But McClellan, with the season he's having, he should be getting some award consideration, I would think. Leading the country in wins and goals against average. No, we're still 6th in the poll. Before we go into this, I'm just going to take a quick look at see if anything interesting is going on in the NHL. No, Canucks continue to be bad. Jets surprisingly not having a good season, 26-28.
Well, that's about right. Depending on how things go. I mean, if Connor Helbeck has a bad year and they could start trading away pieces at this point.
Oh yeah, I think you called it there. Hellebuck, 3.21 goals against average and a 909 save percentage.
Now, why is Fleury's on the team for some and Ronick? That's interesting. Vesalainen came back.
Fleury.
Chaz Lucius is up.
On waivers from Seattle. Yeah, Vesalainen. Yeah, they brought him back from Finland.
Yeah, it's not exactly a great-looking team there.
Yeah, it's all showing up at 5 stars because we're looking at this from college level perspective. So pretty much all the NHL guys are going to look like 5 stars to us. Chaz Lucius, we've got his younger brother on the team. Looks like he's having trouble getting established. But back to ours, and let's get the roster set up first for the mission. Oh, great. We get Bantle back, but Mellenbacher gets hurt. And Horback is in, Kerr is out, reshuffle the lines. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, game 1. Can we get a win off these guys?
Probably not.
If they're back up in 4-1 win.
All right, cool.
No faith, Adam.
Jeff, we've been doing this now. What did we talk about? Last week was our was it seventh anniversary of doing this?
Sixth or seventh, yeah.
Gonna go back and check what I had written down. 2016. So 7 years of doing this. There's a reason why there's a lack of faith there.
Yeah. Okay, Mellenbacher is apparently healthy enough to play game two. So redo the lines, and why are we still 5 points? Oh, they've got a game in hand. Okay. So this would put us within three with one game in hand. So let's see if we can get the second half. Actually, let's Portillo still concussed day to day, so he won't be playing. And 4-3 overtime win.
All right.
Bandel back from the injury gets the first star, and we're still 4 points back. Oh, I got something happened to Jugnath. Sore back 1 to 2 weeks, so we'll rest him going into the playoffs. But apparently we're not going to catch Michigan. Oh, that was an overtime win, I bet. That's why they got a point out of it.
I mean, we're right neck and neck with Michigan. Just can't quite.
We've only got 2 games left, so unless they completely tank it here, who they got in the last week? Oh no, they're done.
So you're saying there's a chance?
We got a sweep against Notre Dame to get this. Can't remember what the tiebreaker is. If it's head to head, we got that.
I'm not sure.
And ranked 4th in the country, but that beating Michigan twice has knocked them off the first place, and defending champion Arizona State is now ranked number 1.
Nice.
So Notre Dame is actually climbing up there. They're past Penn State. They're 4th in the conference.
Gonna make a fight.
Okay. Jugnath unfortunately has to sit. And I think we have to put. I'd want to put in Ramsey, but we've still got him redshirted. I'm not going to waste his redshirt status for one game.
Time to sign a walk-in. Time to sign a walk-on for one game.
No, I got like 10 defensemen. Definitely don't need that.
Choices. Put the best guy in.
Okay. Well, let's see how game 1 goes.
Dun, dun, dun. Having a hot goalie should help.
4-3 win. And Caden Brown, I think he's on the 4th line, isn't he? 3 points. And regulation win. 2 points back in Michigan.
Those are the guys you need to come through.
And let's try for the win here. Gonna leave him clawing in. And 3-1 loss. We do not make it into first. So Michigan gets the regular season conference championship. We'll see how they do in the tournament. little disappointing. We came close. I mean, still, it's a better year than we've expected so far.
Take take everything. Oh, I mean, I thought this was going to be a disaster of a season.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't go too quickly here. I think Michigan's probably going to have their goalie back for the conference tournament. That's not going to help. Well, it's going to help them. It's not going to help us. And the final poll, at least pre-playoffs, says us fourth. Michigan, whoa, what happened there? Oh, Arizona. What went wrong there? Oh, wow, look at that to end the season.
What did they have mid?
Lost to Yukon and then three straight losses to Alaska. Is Alaska even any good?
Yes, they are.
Not particularly, 13 and 10. And it was actually enough to knock them out of the top spot in the independents.
Are they not in talk to join one of them, or am I wrong on that?
Arizona State, not sure.
Pewog, you still there? Or maybe Kim, you know that. Are they in talk to join one?
It sort of fit in the CCHA or NCHC. And we should have the playoff schedule up in a second here. And another development report. Still looking good for everybody. Not 1 or 2 points. No real big improvements.
All right.
Budget. Let's spend the money in the playoffs. Get morale all the way up. And we should see the tournament announcement in a second here.
Um, you know what? Maybe I was just thinking of their COVID season. COVID season, they played with the Big Ten.
Well, the guy with the great name is the NCAA leading scorer this year, Gunnar Fontaine.
That is a pretty sweet name.
Yeah, Nashville
But
draft pick.
that must have been really hard to spell as a kid. You'd think, right?
You got Gunnar, you got Wolf. Not that hard.
Yeah,
Extra E on the end. Oh, I think we're waiting for a couple of teams to finish up their schedules here. That's what the delay in the tournament starting is. And we're almost getting our defenseman back. And nice that we do have this break. Gives us a chance to get everybody healthy. Almost there. Are there any regular season games? Oh no, we still got a couple of independent games. I gotta check on that. It feels like there's too long of a delay before the playoffs start. Might need to adjust that schedule a little bit.
Would they be waiting for something else in particular?
No, it's just we're waiting for the regular season games to finish up. I didn't think
Well,
it was.
I just wondered if there was some other conference taking a little more time.
Yeah, it's a couple of them when the independent teams had games against each other. But I don't think the schedule should be going that far out, so I'll just take a down, double check that later and maybe throw that in the update if there's anything wrong there. Yeah, Alaska. Okay, this should be the last weekend of that. Although we did start this game right after launch, so maybe when we did make a couple of changes to the schedule after that, so maybe this is still working with the older schedule before we made some fixes to it. Wondering if that might be it. But we should be around to the playoffs in a minute. So I think those are the last couple of games of the season for the Independents.
All right.
Yeah, nothing else on the schedule. How many games have they played? Yeah, okay.
Alaska's played 40 games. Arizona's only played 28.
Okay, there we go. We got the award nominations, so that means the playoffs are coming up. And for the Hobie Baker, the MVP, Alexander Campbell from Clarkson. Okay, had a pretty good year. Henry Thrun from Harvard. Not bad. And, yeah, not surprisingly, Luke Hughes from Michigan. Probably going to wind up going to Hughes. And, yeah, McClellan does get nominated for the Mike Richter Award as best goalie. And his competition is from Army. I don't think that
Who was
guy's
the
going to
first
beat him.
ever winner of the Mike Richter Award?
Hmm?
Who was the first ever winner of the Mike Richter Award?
Good question, or do you know it?
I do know it.
Would that be Hellebuck?
It would be Hellebuck.
Hence why you're asking. And didn't get any nominations for the staff awards.
Kim is chilling in the chat, says probably not Mike Richter.
Would be a little presumptuous. Okay, so yeah, fourth in the rankings going into the playoffs. Do we have a playoff tree yet? No, we should have that on the next update. There
Also important to know, who did Mike Richter play for in college?
Boy. I honestly can't remember that. Wasn't the Michigan team, was it? No.
No, but you're going to be mad when you find out the answer. It was the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, duh, yeah. He's not from Wisconsin. How did he wind up there? Okay, so, there we go. The conference playoffs. And
right,
luckily
Kim,
enough, we get Michigan State in the first round.
Here's a better question. Jeff, maybe you can answer it too. Mike Richter played for what team or teams? Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Mike Richter has been a part of what teams in the NHL?
Oh, that you're asking because aside from the Rangers, there was that. What was that deal where they moved guys around before the expansion draft? No, that was Van Beesbrook. No, wait.
You're thinking Van Beesbrook, yep.
Yeah, that was Van Beesbrook.
Yeah, you could also be thinking of Pete Peters when he was traded to Winnipeg.
Oh, we got the playoff game here against conference tournament game here against Michigan State, so deal with that. And Jugnoth is healthy, so Kara comes out. Set the lines up again for the playoffs. We'll stick with whatever we get here, assuming it's not anything crazy. Doesn't look like it. What was the other team?
Mike Richter was actually an expansion draft pick of the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, I knew there was something weird around the expansion. Okay,
Yes.
our goalie is red hot. We're playing the worst team in the conference. We should not lose this game.
He never played a game for them. He immediately became a free agent and then re-signed with the Rangers.
And 1-0 shutout win. Although we did outshoot them 38-18. It was just us not getting much offense. Well, we left it late to third period. 13:25 the third period before somebody finally scored a goal.
Here's one. Okay, so the Rangers let Mike Richter get picked. What goalie did they protect instead?
Was that Dan Cluche?
No, no. This is such a random player. You, you would be. Well, I mean, Jeff, you do lots of the other stuff. Yeah. Fun fact: former Manitoba Moose goalie at the end of his career.
Not Edberg.
Not Hedberg. Hedberg was with them like way before the end of his career. But he was with them before he got to the NHL.
Oh, that's what we were.
The
Okay, Big
correct
Ten
answer
tournament.
is
Go
the
ahead.
goaltender they protected was Rob Stauber.
Oh, okay. As it was really important that they protect him, apparently. So we
Yeah,
got
well,
Minnesota. So I think we got the this was said this was started with the old setup where the playoff matchups weren't working correctly for the conference tournament. So we actually get Michigan in the semifinals, and that's going to be a tough game. And Portillo is back. And I think we're completely healthy.
okay. I'm sorry. This is hilarious. Actually, looking at this because now I'm looking at protected players. Okay, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just
Okay,
does
hang on. We
not
got
belong.
Michigan game in the conference semifinals. Do we win this?
I hope so.
4-3 overtime win.
Nice. Pittsburgh protected Tom Barrasso. Philly protected Hextall. New Jersey protected Martin Brodeur. Islanders protected Tommy Salo. And then the Rangers protected Rob Stauber.
Okay, so through to the conference championship and potentially a good seeding in the national tournament.
Nice.
What's going on the other side? Oh, Notre Dame
All right,
came through. And Ohio State,
Jeff just.
Ohio State actually upset Minnesota in the first round.
Oh, nice.
So that clears the way through.
Helps us out.
Yeah, so just have to beat Notre Dame here to win the conference championship. That'll be our first one.
Jeff,
And
just
we do
because
it.
I'm going to end this on this note, who was the goaltender the Canucks protected in the '98 expansion draft?
Felix Potvin
Nope.
and Kluche.
Nope. It was the goalie who Peter Forsberg created a big memorable stamp with for Sweden.
Oh, tip of my tongue.
Corey Hirsch.
And we just barely beat Notre Dame for the conference championship. So that should give us a good seeding in the national championship
Fingers crossed.
tournament. And we get the achievement.
Nice. Good job, Jeff.
And more importantly, everybody is still healthy. So let's see how the national tournament shapes up. As we've got, what is it, 2 rounds to get, no, 3 rounds
To
to
me,
get through the Frozen Four.
It's always funny because when I think of like, the big tournament, my mind goes to basketball, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, awesome. Let's see what then you get to hockey and it's like, oh, it's only what is it? 12 teams?
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16.
Okay. It's so much
16, 8,
smaller.
4, 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
They get down to the Frozen Four so fast you're like, "Oh yeah,
So, first round, Canisius somehow made it in. Did they win their.
good for
I'm not
them."
sure. They had a bad year. Can't remember what conference they're in. Atlantic. Did they win the. Oh, yeah, they somehow managed to pull through and upset win the Atlantic tournament. So they get to lose to Michigan in the first game. Defending champion Arizona State against Boston College. Lindenwood, one of the independents, and just in their second year, and American International. Yeah, it's American International. It's got a pretty strong team this year. St. Cloud State, all Minnesota matchups. St. Cloud State versus Minnesota. Ferris State versus Wisconsin. That's us. So we got. Ferris State is no, not particularly good, but they've had a decent year. They're definitely beatable. We should get out of that round. Harvard and Yukon, UMass and Mass Lowell, another interstate matchup, and Clarkson and Northeastern. So I'm gonna just go through sim through one game at a time. ASU Boston game. 3-0 for Boston College, and Arizona won't repeat as national champions. Canisius, Michigan should be a wipeout for Michigan. 2-0, closer than expected. Lindenwood, American International. You'd expect American International to win here, and they do. Also 2-0. All Minnesota. St. Cloud State versus Minnesota, and the Gophers get through 4-2 win. Yukon at Harvard. Yukon beats Harvard 2-1.
Are you worried?
Battle of Massachusetts, and Mass Lowell beats UMass 3-2. And Clarkson and Northeastern. Clarkson 6-5 over Northeastern. And our game, Ferris State.
Are you worried?
Nah,
So we're
we
ripe
got
for an
this.
upset.
We got this. We don't got this.
Oh
Damn it.
no!
3-2 loss. What the
Oh,
hell? What?
harsh.
Oh, look at that. They got the winner with 3 seconds left.
Ooh. So
We were
our
getting
goalie
ready
is
for
not
overtime
clutch.
too early, apparently.
Oof.
Good game ratings out of some of their guys. Decent. Oh, geez, Stramo, what are you doing? That guy is an NHL prospect, 31 defensive game rating in the
Ouch.
playoffs. Come
Cut
on,
him.
man. Maybe they'll turn the wings off from. He's a wing. Maybe they won't sign him in the off season then.
They will, and
Yeah,
there's
it's
no longer your
disappointing
problem.
for the way the. I mean, we go through, we win the conference championship, and wound up losing to. Well, no
Ferris
disrespect to
State.
Ferris State, but not exactly a powerhouse.
Kim is chilling 16 shots, 2 goals.
Yeah, that's brutal. Okay, and see, we went to the Frozen Four. Michigan beats Boston College 6-3. American International knocking off Minnesota, so Michigan's the only Big Ten team left. Ferris State beats Yukon, so they're going through. And Clarkson over UMass Lowell. So American International against Michigan in one of the in one of the Frozen Four games. And Clarkson, who's I think had a decent year, 22-11-1, not bad. And the surprising Ferris State Bulldogs surprised us, that's for sure.
Yep. Destroyed hopes and
And
dreams, Jeff.
The sixth, I've got to
Destroying
get
hopes and
to.
dreams.
So I think some of our seniors may start taking off at this point. Oh, it's going to stop me at the end of the month anyhow. I can knock our budget back down because definitely not spending any more money on making these guys happy after they tanked like that. Scouting can stay up. Happiness, no. My money is on Michigan to win this. Whoops, I meant to stop that. So we can send these last couple of games out.
Oh, the harsh realities, huh?
Yeah, just that's how that's the way the tournament works. You don't show up for one game, and that happens.
Well, it's not like the first time we've been disappointed
Yeah.
in these streams.
Okay. First half of the Frozen Four: American International against Michigan, and American International upsets Michigan 5-3. Clarkson against the surprising Ferris State Bulldogs. Clarkson wins. That ends Ferris State's run. So Clarkson and American International, how'd they do in the regular season? American International was the top team in Atlantic hockey, so they probably the favorite going into this. And Clarkson second in the ECAC, but Harvard got knocked out relatively early, if I remember right. So no real big names. Clarkson's there. American International's got an older team. Look at those guys. I think lots of guys in there, even into their mid-20s. Blake Bennett, the captain. See NHL prospect at all? Nope, doesn't look like it. And Clarkson. Alexander Campbell, their captain. Best player. Nashville property, but a pick way back in 2019, so I don't know if there's still a serious prospect there. And just going to do this day by day to get to the final. I'm going to say American International over Clarkson.
Here I was cheering for Ferris, hoping they'd get there.
And the winner is Clarkson, 4-2. Yeah, looks like they beat them pretty handily. 4-30 touchdown, 32-19. And first star is Damon Gardner. Where do I know that name from? He's a Canucks prospect. That's why I know that name.
I believe he was also a stream star at one point.
Was he?
I feel like that we had a Gardner on a team at once. I could be wrong.
Don't think it was that one. Oh, maybe it was. Can't remember.
It seems to me I drafted a Damon Gardner.
And freshman, too. So. Wait, is he somebody's son? American. No, apparently not.
I mean, he is somebody's son.
Well, yeah, presumably the son of a former player, I mean. And have any of our seniors departed yet? Not yet, but it'll probably be. Oh yeah, it's we changed that, so it happens just after the tournament ends. So I'm assuming we're. Yeah, there we go. The tournament champion. So beat Northeastern, beat UMass, beat Ferris State, beat American International. And we'll just get this around to see the awards. And no, just good timing, just coming up on the hour here. Do a quick review of the season.
Highlights and disappointment.
Highlights, great goaltending. Disappointment, choking in the playoffs.
So we're gonna rename the team the Leafs then?
Okay, before we lose anybody. Oh no, our seniors did leave already. Except for Kerr, who didn't get any offers. And anybody with a pro team yet? Doesn't look like it, but they just did that 10 days ago. So they will probably wind up signing shortly with minor league teams if they want to get a few games in at the end of the season. What's that done to our roster if we? It's still not that terrible, even if we had to play with just what we've got now. Rivera will probably be the starter next year unless the Czech guy pushes him.
Jim says he has often found that pro teams won't sign them till August 1st.
Got to check on that. There's supposed to be a step in there that lets them play in the AHL towards the end of the year. But the award ceremony, Hobie Baker goes to Lee Hughes. Not surprisingly, Mike Richter Award. Does McClellan get it? Oh, the playoff MVP is Damon Gardner, who was the MVP in the final. McClellan doesn't. Well, he's not showing up as our guy, but because he's a free agent now. But he gets the top goalie award, so that's good. Michigan sweeps the coach and GM awards.
As I probably should.
And that will. Well, let me just have a quick look at the NHL while we're. That pretty much wraps up our season. So I'll do the boring stuff in the off season and get us around to probably the start of the next exhibition season before the next stream. Oh, we got the All Stars. So McClellan did make the All Star team, but nobody else from Wisconsin. Hughes Lindner from American International. Didn't notice him yet. Had a pretty good year. And Cam Fontaine, Sam Colangelo is the other one from Northeastern. And there's a Furry on the second team. I'm sure he doesn't get any kidding about that name at all.
Probably not. No.
Some coaching changes in the offseason. Wow. So Michigan wasn't happy about losing and fired their coach.
After he was named best coach in the NCAA.
Yeah, that's the off season. Yeah, it's the off season coaching changes. Well, that's gratitude for you.
You
Coach of
did
the year,
not.
but
Well,
you're not good
that's how
enough for
mad
us
they
because
were
you
about
didn't
you.
win the big one. I mean, they should have won the tournament.
That's how mad they were that you won.
If they were undefeated, like what, going into about 3 months into the season, and wound up not winning either the conference tournament or the national tournament. So high expectations. And now they're going to have to rebuild because I'm assuming Hughes will probably take off after this season. And yeah, at this point, we don't have a whole lot to do before the end of the year. I got my scout. I added another scout to Canada, so we got should have pretty good scouting coverage for the events now for the recruiting stuff next year. But I don't think there's really nothing urgent needs to be done here. Oh, I was going to take a look at the NHL. Let me first, however, make sure we've got. That won't finish though. Season with a little bit of money in the bank, not much. But what's going on in the other leagues? NHL. Oh, into the playoffs. So I might as well just continue this so we can finish up the NHL playoffs. Take a couple of minutes. Vegas and Calgary, Minnesota and Colorado, Rangers and Carolina, and no, Detroit and Florida. Go Wings. They lost to Florida.
Top seeds got washed in the East. Overkill of ASE says.
On the Hall of Fame nominees, got to go with the ex-Canuck, McGillney. And Colorado about to sweep their series, but the other two ones are 2-1. No, Vegas goes up 3-1 there. Colorado does sweep. Vegas is out, and Florida and the Rangers leading. And the Rangers win. Florida and Detroit go to Game 7. Can the Wings win it? Nope. Panthers 4-3. Or
Sorry,
3-2
people.
in the game and 4-3 in the series.
As you're
And that's
continuing,
what.
Sim, do you want me to do the outro here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, with that, and we'll continue to see who wins. Thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. We also stream every other week on our Steam page as well, for those of you who are tuning in there. You can find all of our streams archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. With the archives going live at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that they're live, a good time for European viewers. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. Also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums. We can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, you covered pretty much everything. We're still working on the next update. That'll be coming sometime. Well, it's February now, so this month, hopefully. Colorado up 2-0 over the Rangers in the final. I think they're about to end this. And Canada won the World Championship. There's the Hall of Fame vote. Lundqvist eligible already? Yeah. And Colorado about to sweep the Rangers in the final. And I'll stop this just as they. Nope, well, the Rangers managed to get a game. But Colorado in 5.
I thought you were going to give me some
Oh,
epic
whoops.
thing
No, that
where
was,
it
I
was.
read that wrong. That's they didn't. The Rangers won that. 3-3. The Rangers are coming back. 3-3. And the Rangers back from being down and 3-0. And I also had written them off because I read the game score wrong. Rangers come back from a 3-0 deficit in the final to win the cup.
Wow.
That would be a party.
I guess they
Ooh.
gave the guarantee.
Yeah, well, that's basically the current team. Adam Fox had a good year. One of the young guys, Pajanami, had a pretty good playoff. But yeah, pretty much unchanged Rangers team. Well, a few young guys,
Dumoulin?
but and Shestyorkin had a decent playoff, not spectacular.
Oh.
But Stanley Cup champion New York Rangers. But I will assume to say to the next season in between streams, so we'll be back around to our next. Whoops, gotta re-sign a couple of staff here.
All right.
But we've
We'll
got a
see
few
if we
young
can.
guys coming in, so it will be a changed roster next time. And we'll see if we lose anybody, most likely Kuhlmans or Stramel, to the NHL in the offseason. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and we will be back next week with Adam's Columbus Blue Jackets game. Which, how far did we make it in last season? Last time?
We're just past January, I think.
Have you won a game yet?
Yeah, we won a few. We're trying to win 10 games on the year, Jeff. That's our goal.
Okay, and not get fired.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We're end of November. I thought we were further
Okay.
than that.
So we'll see if Adam can make it through his first season of the Columbus Blue Jacket in their expansion year. So thank you for coming out, and we will see you in a week from now.